Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Man, got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history. And in this video, I want to talk about something that I just came to a realization the other day. And I looked into this to double check, but I had saw something, a post somewhere where they compared LeBron James turnovers to the amount of turnovers that Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabber have combined in their careers. And it said that LeBron James has more turnovers than Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabber combined. And I was like, that can't be right. And I looked into this, and it's actually true. LeBron James has more turnovers in his career than Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabber. And we're going to talk about this video because there's a little bit of, nuance to this and some details that we want to highlight in this video, guys. When we think about that, we all know that LeBron James is a turnover machine. He's been that way his entire career. And this is what we're going to talk about in this video, man. More turnovers than Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabber combined, man, in his career. Insane, guys. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world. Everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly, truly humbled by all support, man. It really means a lot, guys. You guys know, man. And I want to send a special thanks out to my man, Kevin Lou K. Shout out to Kevin Lou coming through with the super thanks. Thank you very much for your continued support, man. It means a lot, guys. I'm truly humbled, man, for real. Shout out to Short and Sweet 867 for coming through with the super thanks. Thank you very much to Short and Sweet. Much respect. Thank you. And once again, shout out to my man. I don't know, it's Mark Book. I'm sorry, man. I guess I've been saying it wrong. I've been saying Book Mark, but I guess it's Mark Book. Shout out to Mark Book, man, for coming through again with the super thanks. Like I said, you guys truly humble me, man, with the support, guy. I know it means a lot, man, because I know money is hard to come by for a lot of people out here, man, especially out here in America, man. You see things are getting crazy, man. So much respect to anyone who donates to my channel, guys. Like I said, it's truly humbling, man. Thank you very much. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to talk about how LeBron James has more turnovers in his career than Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabber have combined. Now, like I said, man, I was floating up. I was looking around on the internet the other day, and I came across this post. Now, you know how it is on the internet. And this is why I tell you, sometimes, you can't believe what you see, right? That's why sometimes I tell you guys, do your homework, do your research, look into these things, man. Don't just take something on face value and be like, oh, you saw a post on this channel. That means it's 100% accurate. Same thing with me, man. Listen, I try to give you guys the facts, man. Like I said, I don't write a lot of this stuff down. I don't edit my videos. I don't pre-record this stuff. So like I told you, man, sometimes I might be off on a detail here, a detail there. But I always try to give you guys the facts, man, right? I don't try to lie or make up, create narratives. I try to give you guys the facts so you can form your own opinion. I tell you guys that all the time, man. I try to hit you guys the info, but you guys can double check on me. If you don't believe that I'm saying something is right, go double check on what I'm saying, all right? Trust me, I try to do my homework, but go ahead, feel free to double check any of the videos or the things that I've said, the posts that I've made, and I try to do the same. So I saw this post floating around, and it said, oh, LeBron James has more turnovers in his career than Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabber combined. Now, I didn't think that was true because I assumed that, Michael Jordan turnovers and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's turnovers, they both played a good amount of games in their careers. They didn't have short careers. That there's no way that they could have less turnovers combined than LeBron James has in his career. And we know LeBron James is the all-time lead in turnovers. That they never celebrate. They never talk about LeBron James' turnovers. They'll pump the hell out of Russell Westbrook's turnovers. They'll talk about James Harden's turnovers all the time. But you'll never hear them talk about LeBron James' turnovers like that. They damn sure won't do that, right? But I didn't think it was that way. So I looked into this. Like I said, I did the homework on stuff, just a little research, which is not hard to do, but I looked into these things. Now, there's one thing that we must understand from the jump for my video to be worth a damn. We must, once again, tell the facts. Because that's what's about in this channel. I'm giving you the facts, and you form your opinion off this. That's the key here, guys. I'm giving you context and perspective. That's what I'm giving here. So let's remember something and be honest. They did not track turnovers until, 1978, I believe. The 77-78 season, I believe, was the first season that they started tracking turnovers. So let's understand something right there off the jump. That Kareem Abdul-Jabber played 20 seasons in the NBA, guys, all right? And the first 8 years of his career, they did not count turnovers. All right? So let's be real and be transparent and be honest and keep the facts and facts and give historical perspective here. Remember, they didn't start tracking steals and blocks until 1973-74. So we can argue that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar lost out on a couple blocks titles. He lost out on a couple of stats of blocks and steals in his career, right? No excuses, no big deal. But they didn't track turnovers for the first 8 seasons of his career. But if you look at the numbers, the other 12 seasons, the other 12 years of his career, which to me is a full career, if someone played 12 seasons in the NBA, when I was growing up anyway, that was considered a full career, guys. And like I said, even back before then, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, if you played 8, 9, 10 seasons, that was a full career. With Bill Russell, I believe, only played, 10 seasons? Maybe 11 seasons, maybe, or something like that. So if you think about some of the, if you think about Larry Bird, how many full years did Larry Bird really play? 11? 12 maybe? That's how it was back then. The game was so physical, right? They didn't have all the advantages of advancements in medicine and training and all this stuff and, nutritionists and dietitians and, massage therapists. They didn't have all these advantages. So the game took a toll on your body physically. The game was more physical, right? So guys broke down earlier because guys were going out there giving their all, giving the effort. They weren't load managing to play 17 or 18 years. So if you take away the first 8 years of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's career, you're left with 12 seasons, 12 full seasons. That's excellent. Once again, that's a full career, especially for someone like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was not load managing, was not missing a lot of games. All right? So I want to say, I wrote it down here. Let me see here. I wrote this down. I wrote down the numbers here just to make sure. And I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after those first 8 seasons, he had 5 seasons of 80 or more games. 5 seasons of 80 or more games. 2 seasons of 82. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons of 80 or more. So we know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was not load managing. He wasn't missing games just to miss games. He wasn't lollygagging out there. All right? So from that point, we're talking about 929 career games from when they started tracking the turnover stat. 929 games. That's a full career right there, guys. 929 games. When Michael Jordan retired after the Chicago Bulls career, before he came back for the Wizards, I believe he only had I'm sorry, guys, forgive me, 900 and something games in his career. That was what he was. And you see all he accomplished in that amount of games. So 929 games for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the years that they tracked stats. That's a full season for me, a full career right there. And then we look at Michael Jordan, and he played 1,072 games. And we know they tracked turnovers his entire career, right? So if we think about that, that combines for a total of 2,001 games. 2,001 games. LeBron James in his career, up in last night, including last night's game, has played 1,561 games. All right? So you see right there, between Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Jordan, they played almost 500 more games than LeBron James has combined from when they started tracking the stat. All right? So that's a fair comparison, right? They don't have less games played, and we're comparing, they played less games. No, they played actually almost 500 more games than LeBron James in this comparison, guys. All right? So 2,001 games compared to 1,561 for LeBron James. All right? So we get that out the way right there. Now, if we think about their career turnover numbers, for their careers, Michael Jordan has 2,924 turnovers in his career, which to me is remarkable, man. Remarkable that the man has played that many seasons at that high level with that usage rate, having the ball in your hands that many times in crunch time moments, right, in key situations. All the years, for literally all the years that he was there, he was the guy for the Chicago Bulls in those moments. And you only have 2,924 turnovers. It's, like I said, to me, remarkable. Once again, Michael Jordan sacrificing stats like points, rebounds, assists, also turnovers you sacrifice, right? Michael Jordan sacrificed of playing a triangle system. So he played an actual system, right, which helped him have less turnovers, but also limited his other stats, including the turnovers, guys. This is what we're talking about for LeBron James. LeBron James could have sacrificed points, rebounds, assists, things of that nature. Also, maybe had less turnovers in his career if he would have played an actual system, allowed his teammates to have roles, allowed the coach to be coach or be a coach, right? Doesn't do these things. So understand that Michael Jordan is not even over 3,000 turnovers, but he has, I believe, the second highest usage rate in NBA's history now. I believe Luka Doncic has surpassed him in total usage. Now, we know this is a little inflated right now, but anyway, second highest usage rate in NBA's history. Mike Jordan doesn't have 3,000 turnovers. Like I said, guys like Kevin Durant, way over 3,000 turnovers already in their careers. So once again, remarkable Michael Jordan ball handling ability, his dribbling ability, all that stuff. Like I said, not turning the ball over, making mistakes in clutch situations. So for his career, he averages 2.7 turnovers per game. Really, really good. Like I said, if you think about the way Michael Jordan was played, all the double teams, the fouls that he was getting hit with that they didn't call fouls sometimes. Remember, a lot of these turnovers are from carries and travels that they called against Michael Jordan. They don't call those against LeBron James. So 2.7 for his career, that's his average. His high in the season was 3.6. And his low was 1.8. So you see that, half. He cut his turnovers in half to 1.8. I believe that was his final season on the Chicago Bulls. I believe on the Wizards, he averaged 2 turnovers, 2 and 2.1, I believe, which is excellent. Once again, excellent again. But you see what Michael Jordan was able to do in those years. The last 3 years in the Bulls, that last three-peat, I believe it was like 2.0 and 1.9 and 1.8. Like, you see Michael Jordan evolving, the game evolving, less turnovers, right? That's Michael Jordan. That's called efficiency, right? That's called precision. It's called excellence, guys. That's called adjusting and adapting your game. So you have less turnovers as your career has gone on. You become wiser with the ball, smarter with the basketball, right, so to speak. That's not LeBron James. Still, this 22nd season, he's averaging 3.8 turnovers this season. And most of the season, he was averaging 4. He's top 5 in turnovers. This LeBron James, even in year 22, nothing has changed for LeBron James. So let's think about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. For his career, same as Michael Jordan, 2.7 turnovers for his career, which once again is also remarkable. When you think about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was a passer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar could pass the basketball out of double teams and things of that nature. He had good vision, right? He was able to look over the top of defenses and make these passes to his teammates. So, if he's averaging 4.5 assists or whatever it is, 2.7 turnovers for your career is actually really good, especially for big men. When you look at the turnover list of all-time turnovers, guys, what you'll notice in the first or the top 30, let's say top 30 names, is you'll see a lot of quote-unquote big men, scattered throughout that list. It's not just the point guards and the quote-unquote assist men, right? It's also the big men there, because the big men don't really necessarily known for having ball handling abilities, right? Ball handling skills per se. So some of these guys are, loose with the basketball. Who was the leader in turnovers? It was Karl Malone, a big man. So you'll see names like Moses Malone on there, Karl Malone, Artis Gilmore is in the top 30s, and like in the top 10. Hakeem Olajuwon's in the top 20. Patrick Ewing, Tim Duncan, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, Robert Parrish, Kevin Garnett. All of those players are in the top 30, guys. Those are all big men. That's like half the list. So it's not just the John Stocktons and the Magic Johnsons, right? The Jason Kidds. It's not just those guys. It's also big men. Like I said, in their careers, these guys turn the ball over. Like I said, they're not known for being as skilled, right, as the guards. So we go there. So 2.7 for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is excellent. His high was 3.6, like Michael Jordan. His low, 1.3, which I believe was his last season in the NBA. He was averaging, I believe, 23 minutes per game at 40 years old or whatever it was at last year. 1.3 turnovers a game. Excellent. If we think about LeBron James, right? And like I said, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 2,527 turnovers for the career that they tracked that stat. For 12 years of his career, he amounted 2,527 turnovers. Now, LeBron James, we all know, the leader in turnovers in NBA's history, 5,468 and counting. That doesn't even include last night or whatever he accumulated last night in last night's game. I don't know. 5,468, guys. If you think about this, if LeBron James plays another 2 seasons, let's say, he's easily going to have double almost. He probably will pass double the amount of turnovers of Michael Jordan. Double the amount, because if he's averaging about 3.5, 4 turnovers a game for a season, like I said, if he plays 2 more seasons, let's say he plays 70 games in these seasons, you're really talking about probably 250 turnovers a season, somewhere around there. Talking about if he played 2 more years, 500 more turnovers. That would put him at almost 6,000. That would put him right about double Michael Jordan, guys. That's the pace he's on for. Insane. So he's played 1,561 games, like we said. His career average, 3.5. So essentially, 1 full turnover more than Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, right? Although, right, it doesn't seem like maybe much to you guys. 1 turnover more. And if you look at how many more assists, LeBron James averages, 1 more assist than then Michael Jordan maybe, 2 or 3 more assists than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, so you can say it's a wash, but go look at how many block shots Kareem Abdul-Jabbar averaged. There were seasons where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar averaged more blocks than turnovers. LeBron James can't say that. He's never averaged more steals than turnovers or blocks than turnovers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did that, right? There were many seasons where Michael Jordan averaged more steals than turnovers, right? Or just as many steals as turnovers, or with his steals and blocks combined, more than turnovers. You see what I'm saying, guys? And once again, we must also highlight what? I've told you guys, Michael Jordan was getting called for travels, palming violations back in the 80s and the 90s. We know they don't call LeBron James for that. So, once again, these 3.5 turnovers that he accumulates for his career average is, to me, he's probably averaging closer to 5 turnovers per game, if we're being real. You just watch any one of LeBron James' games. Go back to the beginning of his career, all the way to now. Just watch a game, and you'll see traveling, carrying the basketball, nothing being called, especially over the last 10 seasons. It's gotten disgusting in the NBA, the lack of officiating and the standard being lowered. So 3.5 for career is actually really bad when you think about it. They don't even call a lot of the stuff on him. His high in the season was 4.2, which is crazy, right? And then his low was 3. His low is 3.0, guys. That's the lowest he ever had. He never was under 3 turnovers per game in a season. And what would his fans say? Oh, LeBron James averages this many assists. He has the ball in his hand. He passes the ball a lot. No, it's not the same. I don't want to hear that. Once again, his assist-to-turnover ratio is not elite. It's not the top level guys. Jason Kidd level, Magic Johnson, John Stockton level. It's not up there with those guys, right? We're talking about elite level. Passers versus turning the ball over. Kevin Johnson and, Mark Price. A lot of these really excellent point guards that could distribute the basketball. Isaiah Thomas and some of these other guys, man. LeBron James ain't like that. So, once again, you're playing in this weak, soft era. You're dominating the basketball. You're turning the ball over, but they're not even calling you for a lot of these turnovers. So, like I said, your low is 3, which really your low is probably 4. This is what we're talking about, guys. In the weakest, softest era with freedom of movement, all this space, you can do stuff. It's a lot easier to make passes. I actually question how LeBron James turns the ball over so much now. Like, you would think that over the years, your turnovers would go down because you're so great. He's the greatest player of all time, according to his fans. The greatest player of all time can't average under 3 turnovers a game, can't shoot at least 80% from the free throw line. These are basic things. Basic things. LeBron James couldn't do it. So what you see is getting exposed here. So combined, Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar combined in their careers, guys, for 5,451 turnovers. LeBron James, 5,468. So you can see, LeBron James has more turnovers than Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar combined, even though Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Jordan combined for 2,001 games, LeBron James, 1,561. So once again, almost 500 more games than LeBron James, but they had, 16 less turnovers than LeBron James have combined for. And like I told you, this comes in an era where guys played more defense, it was more physical, the game was officiated more. So Kareem's getting called for travels and carry violations, right? These are the facts, guys. You know the deal. Guys are getting hit. I mean, think about how many times someone like Michael Jordan got slapped on an arm, right? And no foul was called, and that's a turnover, right? And he got kind of a steal. No fouls are called, right? I told you many, many times if you think about this. This is the way the game was played back in them days. Like I said, Michael Jordan going against double teams, triple teams, going against some of the fiercest defenses and the fiercest defenders in the NBA's history. And yet still, this man always had the ball in his hands, but he rarely turned the ball over. I told you guys, Michael Jordan rarely turned the ball over, especially in big moments. And I told you, as his career went on, the turnovers became less and less and less because he understood and figured out the game like B.J. Armstrong said. He figured out how to win, right? Where everyone else was out there playing the game, he was out there playing to win. And he said that's what he figured that no one else could figure out. He figured out how to win the game. So no matter what was going on in the game, you always felt confident with Michael Jordan because he figured it out. He knew what to do, how to control the game. That's Michael Jordan, guys, and that's what he did. And shout out once again to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the way that he played the game, one of the most skilled big men of all time. So this is why he didn't turn the ball over at such a high level throughout his entire career. The turnovers became less and less. And like I told you, there were many seasons there where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar averaged just as many blocks as he did turnovers. Something that LeBron James couldn't sniff doing. Couldn't dream of this. this Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And like I said, we kept the facts of facts. We didn't count Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's first 8 seasons. We get that. They didn't track turnovers. But for 12 seasons, they did. And in those 12 seasons, he played 929 games. That's a full career, guys. So two all-time greats, full careers, with less turnovers than LeBron James, but he's the greatest player of all time. Insane, guys, in this weak soft era. Right? It's insane. You guys know the deal. These are the facts, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.